Hey everyone, this is Tim Bowman, and today I'm going to be checking out Pokemon Violet, but playing it on the Nintendo Switch 2. So, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are games that greatly benefit from the more powerful hardware of the Switch 2. Both games received a patch to coincide with the Nintendo Switch 2 launch on June 5th. And this update is free, unlike some of the other Switch games on the new console that require a $10 paid upgrade pack or brand new retail releases called Switch 2 edition of games like The Legend of Zelda. So both Pokemon games first released in November 2022 for the original Switch, and at launch they had a bunch of technical issues from frame rate drops, glitches, pop-in problems, bugs, and just a whole list of other technical and performance problems that really dampened the game's quality. So this free update actually makes Pokemon Violet feel like a brand new game. In this video, I'm going to start the game a few hours in from my old save file that I had when the game first came out in November 22. I bought Pokemon Violet at its launch, played it a couple hours, and then gave up because of the game's poor performance. And this is just the base game. I don't have the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero expansion pack, which added a whole new area and like 200 Pokemon to catch. So right now we're in the world map, just getting a view of kind of the open world scale here, which to me immediately looked better from my memory of playing it at the game's launch. So in this free update on the Switch 2, it boosts the game's visuals and performance. The game now displays at 1080p resolution, scaled up to 4K in docked mode, and a scaled up 1080p in handheld mode on the Switch 2's LCD screen. And this is according to a technical breakdown by Digital Foundry. The game still doesn't have native HDR support, but you can force the Switch 2 to still run it as such under the system settings. And both games now run at 60 frames per second on Switch 2 hardware in both docked and handheld modes. And right away I noticed the battles were just a lot smoother. There wasn't really like lag when doing attacks or moving into menus. I remember when the game first came out, like you would throw a Pokeball to try to catch a Pokemon and it would just like be so slow and just like frame rate drops. It was like ridiculous. But the battles so far seem a lot better over the original release. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet marked the franchise's first open world release. The new games offered an initial 400 creatures to capture, with 107 of those being brand new to the franchise. And that open world aspect really just did not bode well with Game Freak's engine and development, because it was just a total mess on the original Switch, like just horrible frame rates. And in the save I had from a couple of years ago, I had basically just gotten to the school where the whole story is based out of, had some Pokemon here, and then just stopped playing because the performance was just so bad. It was really just took you out of the experience of the game. And I know they patched the game over the past couple of years, but I don't really know if it made a huge difference or not. But I figured the Switch 2 free patch was probably a great time to go back and see how it plays. So another thing I immediately noticed was just how much Pokemon now are on the world map. They really added a ton of just Pokemon walking around. And you can it seems like you can kind of see them farther in the distance as well. I mean, they don't look great still, but they're definitely more on the map. Just everything in the game feels way smoother to play since the last time I checked it out. At this point in the game, I don't even have the first badge, so we're gonna eventually make our way to the first town and encounter the gym leader there, take them down. But right now I'm just kind of going around checking out the world map, catching Pokemon, seeing how the performance plays. Even the camera angles and stuff in battle are just a lot better. Like the Pokemon aren't clipping to the floor and it glitching out and stuff, so it's another improvement I noticed. I didn't really have a huge party at the time, so a lot of these Pokemon, like, I was still just leveling up, trying to evolve them. I started out with the fire Pokemon, so that Pokemon's my strongest. And here's a random person you can battle, so we're going to check that out, because those used to lag pretty bad too. So I'm about to take out this little kid. I don't even know how to pronounce this Pokemon's name. Buzel or whatever, but I'm trying to level them up to the next form because it's technically a water Pokemon. And I'm no Pokemon expert by any means, so I was a big fan of the games as a kid, but at some point dropped off of them, and I think the last one I played before Violet was on the 3DS, Pokemon X or Y, forget which version I played, but I don't really remember any of the new Pokemon, so I just still remember the original 151. But in the Switch 2, I guess, version of the game that you're playing on the console, it does, even the menus are just a lot smoother. Here I need to remove an attack so I can learn another one. The core gameplay of both Pokemon Scarlet and Violet hasn't changed, so you're still getting that easy Pokemon battling, and I guess I'm getting an evolution here. Vivian. I think that's an older one. I don't think that's a new Pokemon. That name sounds familiar. Again, I'm like still really early in this game. I'm maybe like 2 to 3 hours in, so most of my Pokemon still suck. So in this open world Pokemon game, the environments do change as far as the time of day. So right now it's nighttime, but pretty soon like the sun will start coming up. I don't know if that was in some of the older Pokemon games, I don't remember, but I think that might be a newer feature for this more open world experience. So these in-game inventory menus just feel a lot smoother to access your stuff and go between different screens. So these crystals, let's see here, investigate one, you'll be able to take on a Terra raid battle. I don't think I'm ready for that yet. I think that's a new feature too, as far as the original Pokemon Violet and Scarlet release. So I'm not even gonna bother doing those yet, because I'll probably get whooped. So as you notice, there's just Pokemon like everywhere in the map now. It's almost like too many. And they're all sort of like bunched up too in groups. And a lot of times when you come across them. This is the world map. And right here is the town with the first gym leader. So you can kind of see the Pokemon there a little bit farther down. And there's these items all over the maps now. I gotta protect move. Terraform. I don't think I've ever did this before in my old save file. I guess it's supposed to make you stronger, but my quick attack didn't immediately kill this Pokemon, so I'm not sure like how much stronger I actually am. Didn't really change the Pokemon form either. They just got this crystallized shell around them. So this is my starter fire Pokemon finally evolving. Crocolore? I guess that's the name. I guess at some point, I mean, if you really wanted to just keep grinding out, leveling up, you can face all these Pokemon, but it does get kind of boring because you're just so overpowered for most of them. Kind of see a wider view here of the beginning area map, I guess. Doesn't look great. The graphics aren't really improved. I mean, visually, because they bumped up the specs to 1080p and then 4K on a television set, it does look better, but the graphics themselves are just not great for this game, especially for a franchise like Pokemon. They're just really ugly. And these games sell like millions of copies, so I'm not really sure why the game looks so bad. To me, it looks like a cheap mobile game. So here's like an overview of the world a bit. It just does not look good. And from this distance, you can't see any Pokemon on the ground level. even with the patch on the Switch too. But at least in battles, the animations are pretty smooth. It might not look great, but at least it's not like glitching out and frame rate dropping on you. So I still can't catch this Pokemon even with a regular Pokeball, which is messed up for a level 10. I just remember in the original release at launch just how bad when you would like throw a Pokeball, it would just like grind to a halt at times. It was just ridiculous. Couldn't even get it there either. Probably need to use a Great Ball. Alright, took the Great Ball to catch that one. So I'm probably never going to use that one. I'll just send it to the Pokebox. So yeah, this overview of the area of Paldea here is not great. Looks very cheap. Especially for like an open world game, if you're going to do that design, like there's got to be like a minimum expectation of graphic capability. So as you get a little bit lower, you can see some Pokemon there, but they just look like little dots on the screen. But when you get to the ground level, like actually up closer to them, you can start seeing their forms a lot more. A lot of these Pokemon I still haven't even caught either. Well, this one I caught, but I don't recognize them. So to me, they're all new. So. These dig dugs are tricky to get. Man, they're like, look at this guy. So that animation felt really smooth on the Switch 2 version. I don't know if the original game would be able to handle that well. It's still really crazy to think about how bad these two Pokemon games released at launch for like a major franchise like Pokemon. So some of the environments don't look great, like the grass, you can tell in certain areas still looks pretty bad. Even this sign right here and behind the Pokemon is kind of blurry a bit. Another Pokemon added. I have no idea who this one is. Seems like it would be a new one to these two games. There are a lot of items to find on the world map. I'm not sure if that's been changed too, but definitely like the Pokemon. So if you look at this truck here, like you look at the tires, look how like blurry and distorted they are. Like the textures are still awful. So they didn't really fix that with this Switch 2 patch. At least for certain things. So it didn't really catch a lot of Pokemon in my original save file. So this random dig dug in the middle of a field is like a super terraformed Pokemon. So let's see if it's a special Pokemon if you take this out. Well, it says I already caught it, so I'm assuming if you take the shield off, it's just a regular Diglett. So I'm gonna switch it out for my starter. Some of the battles themselves, just like swapping out Pokemon and attacking, just feels slow, but it's not because of the technical issues per se. I just think that's how Pokemon is. It just feels very like at a half-step speed. So these terraform Pokemons do inflict a lot more damage to you. Alright, it's just a regular Dig Dug, so I'm not even gonna bother trying to capture it. Well, I did anyway. I lied. I caught it. Let's see if it's, I don't think it's a terraform, though. Yeah, it's just a regular Pokemon. Okay, so that's kind of disappointing. So now the environments in the world map, it's switched to daytime. It's another Pokemon I don't recognize. Honeycomb Pokemon. So there was a little issues there, you could tell, with like a little bit of a frame rate drop, but overall it's been pretty stable playing through the game on Switch 2. It's another trainer battle we can take on. Pichu. So here's one even I know. Just checking out the moves here for Hoppip. So that was pretty easy. Most of the trainers, that's a problem with the Pokemon games. The game's just like way too easy. So if they only have one Pokemon, it's like you're going to take them out pretty quickly. Some random Dig Dug just snuck up on me here. So we're getting closer to that gym leader's town in the distance. There are a lot of more Pokemon in the map, but some of these forms are like so tiny that it's kind of hilarious. They don't really, like, you know it's a Pokemon, but it just looks like a dot on in the grass there. So let's take this guy on. This old dude. Check me out, I'm 60 and still kicking. It's like, why is he dressed like a 8-year-old? Shouldn't as a student you should wear like age-appropriate clothing? Alright, I'm about to smoke this grandpa. Also too, when you're fighting like random trainers in battles, it's like they just use like defensive moves or to lower your speed or something when they doesn't even do anything. Like, you're never at risk for losing. They keep using defense moves but never attack you, so it's like, what's the point? Check me out, I'm 60 and still getting beat before I go to the gym. Yep. It's like one of these old boomers that doesn't know how to use a cell phone. So the fundamental design of these Pokemon games has not been changed on the Switch 2, as you've seen there with the battles and the way things go. Just a lot of the gameplay elements just feel pretty dated. There's a bunch of Pokemon flying around here. Well, it actually took out my starter, so that's kind of surprising. Just gonna heal up my Pokemon before taking on that other trainer on the road. So got a prize from the Pokemon man there. This guy's just standing there singing the Happy Days theme song. So that's kind of a cool Pokemon. I haven't seen that one before. Vampy. So new move synthesis, the user restores its own HP, the amount of HP is there, so I don't know what to swap this out for. Poison powder actually sounds pretty good. Bullet seed's good. So that's interesting. It varies with the weather. Probably should just swap it out for Absorb, because they're essentially doing the same thing. So this gym leader is also a baker. That's interesting. So this Pokemon I definitely recognize, Jigglypuff. I haven't captured it yet, so let's try to get it here. So even right here, when the Pokeball is just laying on the field, the dirt's all blurry. A lot of the Pokemon don't seem to actively chase after you in battle, except that for a handful there, but most of them just stay stationary. So now we're in the actual town. We're going to see how the performance is in a more condensed area. Can buy 1 egg. Potato salad actually sounds pretty good. Not sure what you do with the food, if you feed it to your Pokemon or something, but... This guy's selling all sorts of ice cream. That's kind of cool. They all have different sort of special powers you get from them. Let's check out the Fizzy Pop. So I wonder if those are temporary increases, or the more ice cream you eat, it just goes to level 2 and then 3 and so forth. So the town looks pretty good, but some of the textures are off. You can see on the walls and stuff. I'm trying to jump over this wall. I don't know how to do that, but... So this is the legendary Pokemon. You can ride around, summon at any time. I believe the name is Miraidon. You can't use them in battle yet, but if you wanted to travel pretty quickly, you can summon it and just drive around the map. So even at this shop, if you look at the signs on the wall there, they're all like blurry textures and stuff, which is really awful. So some of that stuff over the original Switch they still haven't fixed, but here's the gym leader's building. Right in the middle of Olive Harvest Festival. So I wonder if this gym leader is going to have olive-themed Pokemon. So this chick is like one of your friends slash adversaries from your school who basically follows you around everywhere and like tells you about the game's updates and stuff, and you can battle her at different points. So I guess you can't straight out challenge the gym leader, you have to do a test. That sounds new to these two games. I don't remember that even in the 3DS games I played. So these Pokemon gyms have gone really corporate, because back in the day you would just walk into them and walk up to some trainer and start fighting them. Now it's all like, let me just register you, and there's like guys wearing a suit. So this gym is definitely tied to the Olive Harvest Festival. To pass our gym test, you need to roll an olive-shaped ball all the way to the goal. Oh, that sounds amazing. The staff are over at the olive rolling field. Okay. So we can't fight the gym leader yet. We have to go do this challenge first, so... But movement in and out of buildings is pretty smooth on the Switch too. There's really no issues there. I'm just gonna jump on this Pokemon and ride out. Even this Pokemon looks pretty cheap. Like, just doesn't look like a great design. For like being the special Pokemon that's on the cover of the game too. It doesn't look great. As far as like the graphics and stuff of it. So essentially you just have to roll a ball through an obstacle course, so that sounds so much fun. Alright, so you just kick this thing then? Yeah, looks like it. Just do this with the Pokemon, because this is like the dumbest thing ever. I don't know why they put this in the game. At least on the Switch 2 version, the game isn't like freaking out and dipping to like single-digit frame rates, but I can't imagine how this was on the original version. This is supposed to like raise, well at least in storyline, it's supposed to raise their olive harvest, but this ground is like completely dead. There's like no seeds even. So, but rolling this big ball is supposed to like miraculously fix this like depleted crop area. Yeah, I'm really not sure why they added these challenges to like the Pokemon series before a gym battle. It's not great. Kind of a lag here between the load times. There you go. With that performance, I'm sure we can look forward to a great olive harvest next year. I think this town's gonna starve during the harvesting season. Please report your results to the lobby staff for the gym. So that was only one challenge. I wonder if the later gyms have kind of more complex or multi-layered challenges to them, because that was pretty brutal. There's a ton of Pokemon out in the field here. another OG Pokemon I recognize. So even this common Pokemon is like kicking out of a regular Pokeball like this early in the game. I guess I have to use a Great Ball on this level, what is it, 9 Pokemon? Oh my gosh, like right out of the Great Ball. A level 11 Pokemon. It's like I'm trying to capture like Mewtwo here or something. I remember there was like this fable or like supposed trick where if you like spam the A button or something on the old Pokemon games, you could like trick the game into like capturing it for you. I don't know if that's still a thing or if whatever was real, but I might need to start doing that because it's crazy that common Pokemon you have to use like Great Balls on already. So there's like 4 or 5 Pokemon just bunched up right there. Here's a new one I haven't seen before. Some sort of pit bull. Okay, so this one's pretty aggressive. It actually chases after you. I kind of want to add this Pokemon to my current squad. Looks pretty cool. Love that name too for the pig, Lechunk. Alright, it took a while, but I finally got him. So it's a dark Pokemon. has excellent defense. I'm gonna add this to my party. Swap out somebody here. Well, I have basically 3 flying type Pokemons in my party right now. I don't need all 3 of them. So I'll send the fletchling back to my Poke box here. You can claim a reward for the progress you've made in your Pokedex. So you can do photo ops with your Pokemon. I think I'm ready to go to the gym now. But let's check out that Pokedex reward it brought up. Okay, here's the screen. So if you press X on that trophy icon there. Congratulations, your Pokedex now contains 30 volumes. In celebration of your achievement, please take this Thunderstone. So that's cool. So there's like 400 Pokemon, at least in the base game, so I wonder if it keeps scaling all the way up there or it just eventually stops giving you rewards. Can you trade me a Flabibi for my Snom? That's probably the weirdest sentence you'll ever say in your life. But yeah, the town looks good as far as like a performance-wise. There's really no issues walking around and stuff, at least on the Switch 2 version. So now we're back in the gym. Gonna challenge the gym trainer unless they make us plow a field or something before we can do it. Gym leader Katie the Sugar Bug. Thank you very much for your skillful olive rolling. It was quite impressive. So, just based on my previous Pokemon knowledge, I'm going to assume this battle is going to be super easy. So, level 14 to my level 14 is pretty comparable. So you can see the outside of the town and the surrounding area of it, like during this battle, and it doesn't look good. Like when the camera rotates like that, just the graphics just don't look. They look better, like a lot cleaner, and they're like 1080p, but it just as a core of it, they don't look good. So I'm going to send out my fire Pokemon to deal with these grass and bug Pokemon, which they stand no chance, so. So that was a one-hit kill with my fire attack. Teddy Ursa. So she just terraformed this Pokemon. It's not gonna help you. So that was really easy to get through. Your strength rose during our battle like a nice bread in the oven. one gym badge in your possession. Pokemon of up to level 25 will be easier to catch. Little TM. Learning the pounce move. So maybe that'll make these Pokemon easier to capture instead of having to use Great Balls now. I can just use regular Pokeballs on them. You can use a TM machine to make copies of that move. That's pretty cool. That sounds like a newer feature too, but I could be wrong. Because I remember in the older Pokemon games, you would just use the TM once and you wouldn't have it again. I think. So it's that annoying girl again, bothering me. Wonder what Arvin's up to. Arvin was another student that kind of talks to you a lot, and he went to go take on some other challenges, but she encouraged you to take on the gym leaders. So now it's nighttime again. Beat the first gym badge. See where we can go next. What's this question mark there? So the game does have these environmental effects in the open world, so now it's raining. And there really wasn't a performance hit or any sort of technical issues with that. It ran pretty smoothly still, even with the rain coming down. I gotta stock up on Pokeballs again. The rain does come down pretty hard, and it didn't look amazing, but it does add to a different style of the open world aspect. Just gonna explore the open world a little bit more here in this different area past the first town. Thunderstorming and the rain coming down pretty heavily. So now this section of the world map has all different Pokemon I haven't encountered yet. Pretty higher level too, already level 15. So finally getting some more water attacks there. So caught this Skiddo Pokemon who's a grass type. It's another OG 151 Ghastly. So there's a wider view of the world here, looking down at the town. Again, still doesn't look great. Here's just some movements with the legendary Pokemon. Doesn't lag at all, no frame rate drops or glitches. I mean, you really can't fix how ugly the game looks, but as far as performance-wise, it does feel really great. So there's like 5 Pokemon there all bundled together. No technical performance issues with the environment changing and the rain. Still plays pretty smoothly. Now it's dried up here. Just to look at the map, how big the world is. There does seem to be a lot to do. So there's at least 8 gym trainers, and then this whole map to explore. So there's a lot of content here. And then these other missions you can do. Basically take on this game's version of Team Rocket. So a sizable map. It's just a shame that the open world aspect of it had so many technical problems at launch. If you compare this to like an open world game of, you know, Zelda Breath of the Wild, it's like 2 different games, so there's really no excuse for like the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet being so bad. We'll just look at the in-game menu here, so we can go through the Pokedex. Smooth experience, no issues, just opening these menus up and going through them. Gives you some details on each Pokemon you've encountered. I guess the Pokedex also tells you Pokemon you haven't seen yet, but that are in the area. So those would be those blank notes. This is a pretty cool one, this Black Dog. Dark and Fire Pokemon combination. Becomes more active at night. So I guess with the time of day changes and maybe even the weather changing, it affects which Pokemon you're able to capture. You have the rewards here, which is a pretty cool feature. Get rewarded for each Pokedex upgrade. Every 10 Pokemon, it seems like. Here's that Bulldog Pokemon I caught earlier. And recent notes. So these are just Pokemon that haven't encountered yet. So this is the Ghastly's upgrade there. That's Alakazam from the original 151. Just go through the menu here, looking at all the different sections they have. Medicine, Pokeballs, berries, other items, TMs. So menus are smooth, no issues, no lag. At least on the Switch 2 version. Just check out a summary of all these Pokemon here in the menu. So level 15, he still hasn't evolved yet, so I'm still waiting to get his next form. First encounter November 22nd, 2022, so that's probably when I started playing the game. At the time, the Pokemon was level 4. So basically 2.5 years ago is when I first started Pokemon Violet. First met on November 18th, so that's when I would have started the game, because this is the starter Pokemon you get like almost immediately. Current ribbon or mark. Assign a ribbon or mark. What's this? A mark for a Pokemon Gourmet. Current ribbon. Okay, that's interesting. I don't think the other Pokemon in my party have that. Yeah, this Pokemon doesn't have any ribbons. Met this Pokemon on November 21st, 2022. So it's been a while. You can connect to the internet as you're playing. I guess that's how you access this Poke Portal. Through trades and battles and things like that. Connect with friends to adventure together. Can't really have a picnic in the rain. Well, that's going to do it for my look at Pokemon Violet on the Nintendo Switch 2 with the free update that came out at the console's launch. This update isn't available on the original Switch, as you need to play the game on Switch 2 hardware just to unlock these new features. But it definitely feels like a totally different game compared to what it was at launch a few years ago. It's actually playable now. So it's worth checking out if you haven't played the game in a while, just to see the massive difference. You know, I definitely recommend that at least. And this is easily one of the more improved Switch games thanks to the Switch 2 hardware. But be sure to check out my YouTube channel for my impressions of other Switch 2 launch games and my website at timbowmanmedia.com for Switch 2 launch coverage. Thanks again for watching.